full. We commanding the block. Burgundy and gold got the city on lock. Hustling plays, they don't need to pretend. DC reppin' strong and we fight to the end. Command is moving, no breaks, no pause. Hands in the dirt, respecting the call. K-Dot in the mid, dissect the grind. District divider with a city in mind. Trying to dance why, don't miss a bit. And you gotta spread the words, so shit is shit. K-Dot.
Well, this is a misery Monday. Welcome, everyone, to District Divided, DC Sports Podcast, more specifically, a Washington Commanders podcast. I'm Amit. That is K-Dot. And this is the live reaction, the live stream to the Commanders losing at home 25-24 to the Chicago Bears. Snatching defeat from the jaws of victory is the best way I can put it, to be totally honest, with 3 turnovers. And so before we begin this episode, if you could please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, comment as you always do, and K-Dot.
Share it, don't share it. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and get into this thing. So once again, we lose 25-24 at home on Monday night. Primetime lights. Jaden's normally good in it. Ends up having a nice stat line. That fumble is going to be the thing that people remember over there. And then DeAndre Swift, who looks like Barry Sanders, who looks like Bijan Robinson, who played just an hour prior, ends up having himself a day, 108 yards on the ground on 14 carries and 67 yards receiving on an arm tackle, thanks to Quan Martin just not doing what he needed to do, and strolls in from 55 out. K-Dot, plain and simple, your reaction to the game.
Disappointing. I know that going into this one, like, we had what it is that we knew Chicago likes to do. And there was always a chance coming off the bye, knowing that they had a lot of stuff on tape, that they were going to go away from what it is they really like to do. And they definitely did that on defense in this one. And it looked like we just couldn't anticipate it properly. And when we had it on our end to dictate what it is that we were going to do, at least from what I could see watching the game, it felt as though it has been working last week. What got us excited about the rushing attack was not there in the game plan throughout the course of this game itself. It's not necessarily like I think the All-22 is just going to be frustrating as all get out, because it's like, look, man, I think I've said it even since last year. I don't love a lot of the RPO stuff. Just never been a huge fan of it. I'm much more of a fan of like the guard tackle pull stuff that we like to do with the baits and all kinds of stuff and moving around. And it just felt like there was some points in the game that was just like, all right, we're not doing that anymore. But I give Chicago credit, man. Defensively, they blitzed a whole hell of a lot more than they had ever done in any previous game. They kept bringing the pressure, and they were stacking that box, man. You talking about 8-9 guys in that box. They were basically like, look, we know Debo ain't healthy. We know you ain't got Terry. What you gonna do about it? And to be sure, like Chris Moore, shout out, bro. Like, you caught the ball. Like, good job, hell of a job on that touchdown. To get positive at least early, so this isn't just all nothing but misery. Shout out to Jalen Lane, shout out to Luke McCaffrey stepping up when given the opportunity. Like, in all honesty, I think the way Chicago was playing defense, it allowed them to have some opportunities, but you take advantage of them when you get them. And I just think the rushing attack going into today on offense was just not going to get it done. And defensively, shoot yourself in the foot. And I mean, can't even blame the defense completely, because they played good in sometimes, but they're just the worst possible moments that just get things converted, get the offense to keep their offense to keep on going. And you can't turn the ball over 3 times and expect to win a football game.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly said. And so, like, we're gonna mental fortitude says it best. Why are we in pistol on 3rd and 1 in the rain? Jaden's not wearing a towel either. It's one of those things where, like, you're just accustomed to that's how we do things. Like, that is like, we are in pistol a whole lot. I was chatting with some folks at the bar I was watching at, and it was like, hey, it's going to be 3rd and 1. And guess what? We're not going to be under center. It's not something we do. Like, we're going to be in that formation. And I'm not going to blame the formation for it, just to be clear, because we've done it so many times. Sort of a freak play, but like, for it to happen in that spot, for it to be the 3rd turnover, when it looked like, if you were to look at ESPN win probability and things of that nature, we had that, right? And it was just a very sort of gut-wrenching loss from that perspective. You cannot expect to win a game or even feel comfortable winning a game turning the ball over 3 times. And the other team just doesn't turn it over at all. I don't care who you play. The NFL is weird this season. So if you want to go ahead and turn it over 3 times and then expect to win? Be my guest, but it's just not going to work. So we fall to 3-3. The Bears move up to 3-2. I need to quickly shout out Mauricio over here. I'd like us to appreciate Caleb, please. I think he's been overly criticized. He did what he needed to do. I mean, 17-29, 252 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, no picks, no turnovers. So no, you got to give the kid credit for that for sure. But it was frustrating. And I also got to say, like, there was another wrinkle to the game, K-Dot, where Debo just didn't look right. So I think he's not healthy. I think he was gutting it out, and to a degree, props to him, but we need to get healthy with these wide receivers. Terry was out. Noah's out. Debo's active, but clearly doesn't look right. I think he was active just for the sake of being active. It'll be nice to get everybody back, but that's all the macro, right? Back to this game specifically, there was a strange flow to it because Chicago they get the 2 turnovers early on us. They end up early, right? It's 10-0. And then it just doesn't feel like it's out of reach though. Right. So you see Caleb looks a little frustrated. You see Jaden smiling. Like it just seems like, okay, like in terms of energy, it's all right there. Fast forward a bit. We end up going up 24-16. We know we're getting the ball back. Chicago scores on, again, a very poor arm tackle from Quan Martin, which he ends up just walking in from. Like, that's pathetic. Let's be real. Then it's 24-22. We end up getting the stop over there. But, hey, it's Jaden Daniels. We're at home. We got the ball. It's all good. And then that fumble happens. And it's a gut-wrenching loss. I'm still speaking to the feeling of it. It's a gut-wrenching loss because first place was available in the NFC East, right? Eagles lose to the Giants. Cowboys lose to the Panthers. And it's right there. It's begging to have us take first place right now. And we just have that fumble. And again, if you only need to drive 20 yards, they end up getting 40. I mean, what are you expecting? So the offense was very disappointing from that perspective, from the turnovers perspective. I see Jaden Daniels 119.2 passer rating. I see it. I see the 10 carries for 52 yards. I get it. You cannot turn the ball over 3 times, K-Dot, and expect to win a game. Yeah,
I mean, like, look, that's the bottom line. That's the thing that comes out of this game that I think everybody kind of sticks with. Yeah, I mean, it's the phrase to use in this particular game is self-inflicted. Like that's what happened in this one. Like you had the ability right there to win this one. I mean, at the end of the day, like you could tell Chicago coming off that bye and they wanted this one early on. You could just see the tenacity and everything they're playing with. They get the turnovers. They got the energy and everything on their side of the football. Takes a while for us to start genning up on our end. Luvu with the Tim, like this stuff that starts happening defensively for us, it starts getting us excited. Offense is just sort of there. But like I said, offensively, the rushing attack, other than we're going to do it, Chicago dared them. And at the end of the day, this team is banged up in just enough of the right spots where I didn't think Chicago had it in them and they were going to be that brave in the sense of what they were going to do defensively, but they sold out. They 8-9 guys in the box. Hey, go ahead and try to beat us through the air. Let's see what your wide receivers can do. I give credit to Chris Moore. I give credit to Luke McCaffrey. I give credit to Jalen Lane. Yeah. Shout out Mauricio. But it's, war of attrition. And like at the end of the day, one of the things that I've always been worried about the Debo angle is just kind of the pitch count of it. And like I come in last week, he's the number 1 receiver. And but yeah, in spots, I don't want him to be, right? Like that's not what we necessarily want him to be. Like you have a game out here where it's Terry McLaurin and Noah Brown on the outside, and then you got some of these young guys like, yeah, we need some of the wide receiver to get that back. But also, like I said, offensively, I'm going to really look at the all-22 because I feel as though the rushing attack regressed to what we saw kind of early on this season, which is, to me, not the most effective use of what we're doing running-wise, especially with how it's developed over the course of the season. You saw Troy Aikman actually go, like 2 different, like, spent half the series talking about how awesome Ben Sinnott is. Shout out, Ben. Like that was dope. Like you see certain things that we're doing or certain things that we're like punching guys in the mouth as far as the rushing attack goes, and we kind of went away from it in this game. And I just think that like if you're gonna do it from an attitude standpoint, I still would have liked to see more of that over the course of this game. But I think once again the all 22 is gonna show it out. There were moments like that we looked decent, like defensively for us. When we got him in like the 3rd and 5 sort of situations, things like that, we look good. Caleb did not look his best. Like we got him off target. We got him not exactly comfortable where he needed to be. But when you're looking, doing that, man.
I know.
Not doing that.
That's more for Nelson. He was on during the draft specials. So shout out. Go ahead.
Look, there couple like defensively, you have the situation in which like I could see certain things that were happening in the lineup as far as on the defensive line that were dictating whether or not they were going to have success. They really got to figure out what's happening with the rotation between like Payne, Kinlaw, Goldman, all those guys. Because there's certain tandems in certain games that are like, all right, that's the winning combo. That's it. They can't run the inside. We got those 2 guys out there. But because they're trying to get everybody as a part of this to try to kind of figure out what's going to happen, it's not as effective. And you just see when there were certain guys on the field, it just didn't feel like great. There's also the look, man, Jeremy Reeves, love you in the sense of how often you will have a play that'll get the energy and the juice on our side, but there you missed too many damn tackles, man. And Quan Martin, what the hell was that? Like, come on, man, y'all can't do this stuff. Like, there's just those moments and those most inopportune times that you get a situation where you get off the goddamn field and you don't. You let them keep going, and that's what will kill you in these games. Like this is where it's going. The margins is thin on this one. And this is one of those games where you look at like what we could be in the sense of the record feels very, very different than what it is now, knowing what we have coming down the line. Like this was one of those ones where like, yo, it's right there. Take it. Go take that one. Go get it. And they just couldn't muster up enough to go get it. And it's very frustrating. It's extremely frustrating. I think about Mikey Sanders still. There's still times at certain points in this game when penalties or other things. I'm just like, Mikey, damn. You got to think if Jonathan Jones wasn't hurt, he'd probably be playing over Mikey at this point. But they got to do what they got to do, and I'm just kind of hoping. And anytime they hit so like inside, depending on what we had as far as the interior line, and then they could just attack everything on the outside because there wasn't sure tackling, right? So like there you go, DeAndre Swift being able to do whatever the hell it is he wants to do. Like that'll kill you. And then offensively, it's just your damn turnovers. And Jaden, can you stop grounding? You should stop. Please.
That was
stop.
bad.
Just stop doing that. Like
that was bad.
Why do you keep doing that? Like, just stop. Just throw it at the feet, man. Just do something different than that. You're like, I hate that crap. Like it's the dumb things like that. Dan Quinn. Fuck, shit, beat my hand on the fuck, that hurt. Dan Quinn, clock management. I don't know what the fuck that timeout was at the end. I don't know what the hell you're doing after you challenge. Then you win the challenge, even though it was a necessary challenge, and then you guys blow the timeout right immediately. What are you doing? Like, I don't. This is just sloppy. It was a sloppy night, and I get the rain came at different times, but it's no excuse, guys. It's no excuse. It's too sloppy. I keep begging them. Can they do anything for 2 weeks in a row to make me feel safe and secure about what this damn team's doing? It's a Jekyll and Dr. Hyde sort of situation. Or did I get it wrong? Is Mr. Hyde Dr. Jekyll? I don't know. I'm confused and it sucks.
Well, I mean, to be clear, it was raining when Chicago had the ball. It went both ways. Like, it wasn't just when they punted to us that all of a sudden the rain came down, right? Like, I mean,
you're right,
it was sloppy. It was sloppy. And one team protected the ball better than the other. That's what this came down to, unfortunately, right? Because despite 2 turnovers, right, we still end up going up 8. The third one's the killer, right? Like, that's the one that's the killer. We were going to win the game despite being -2 in turnover differential. That's not a normal thing, just to be clear. That just speaks to Chicago is still figuring it out with the new coaching staff. They're on the road, and it's an emotionally charged game. We talked about it in the preview show, right? But you give them another bite at that. And you had mentioned this. Eddie Goldman being out ended up being a pretty big deal. And it's something that we need to note moving forward because he was an inactive
Right.
And a couple people flagged it in the responses on X where they were like, wait, Eddie Goldman's out. That's going to be interesting. And it showed, right? Again, DeAndre Swift's stat line, 14 carries, 108 yards. That's a 7.7 yard per carry, right? This was a game where, what did we highlight, K-Dot? That we are the team that's number one in rushing and yards per carry. Ja'Cory Krosky Bill goes for 17 carries, 61 yards. He has a fumble, right? 3.6 yards per carry.
Yeah.
Jeremy McNichols, 2 carries for 5 yards, 2.5 yards per carry. Chris Rodriguez is active, but no carries, right? So he's clearly hurting. Same sort of deal as Debo. He's active, but he's clearly hurting. So it almost flipped where we were thinking, oh, we'll be the team that'll be able to run on them. But no, they were the team that was able to run on us. When you factor in the turnovers as well, it ended up being an inevitable and very frustrating loss. It just leaves you with a really sort of blue ball is a bit of a stronger term, but like it's an annoying feeling, right? Because this was a game that we absolutely had, and maybe one that we look back at. Personally, I'm not worried about Chicago with the way they currently stand. Maybe they end up becoming a really nice team, and like that becomes a tiebreaker right now. I think they have a little bit of work to do. They're in a very difficult division, but that is a loss that can cost you later on, assuming a Philadelphia takes off once again, and now you're in a wild card race. So that is certainly, to me, the biggest piece of this whole thing. I think I haven't seen this sloppy level of football in terms of turnovers in quite some time. Certainly within Jaden Daniels' era, like, starting and stuff like that. So do I expect it to continue? No. Is next week super important now? Dallas week? Yeah, absolutely. But it's a heart gut-wrenching loss. How does the team respond? Because when Chicago went through this, it was different with the Hail Mary. Their season completely fell apart. Are we going to let this type of loss compound into next week where we have Dallas, and then right after that, it's Kansas City on Monday night? So, like, I'm curious to see how the team responds, K-Dot, to this type of loss where they had the win. They end up letting it go. Do you let it build into another loss, or do you mentally adjust, reset, and are you able to go to Dallas and put on a show? Are you able to win that game? I'm curious.
I just think every once in a while this team seems like it steps outside of itself. Like I really do think when I look at the all 22 on this one, it'll be what is gonna stand out is there was confusion as far as what the rushing attack was going to look like in this one. They did not anticipate they were going to stack the box the way they did. And they didn't necessarily have the attack ready for it. I think with the injuries at the wide receiving core at this particular point in time, including Deebo Samuel not being 100%, it caps your ability to do a ton. Like Zach Ertz had a lot of play in this game compared to last week, right? And it's just because they had to get something kind of going. But there were certain things that I see offensively that I'm like, okay, that looks decent, or that looks okay. I want that to carry over. There were some things that and then also from a defensive standpoint, there were some moments in there where I was looking at Frankie Louvu had probably his best overall game, his most impactful game so far this season, which was nice to see. I think also looking at the defensive line, I don't think we can ever be in a situation where Payne or Kinlaw, one of them is not on the field. One of them has to be on the field at all times, period. This loss is frustrating because it did feel like if we did the things that you look at the tape and you see what it is they did, see what it is they could do. I really did think you could win this game by 6, 7, 10 points. I really did. And I still, even looking at what it is this team did, I still think if Debo's a little healthier, you might win this game. It's right there on the margin sort of thing. It's one of these teams where you guys both, we got two teams probably with special quarterbacks that are maybe outperforming a little bit what they can do, and they're going to have up and down games. I mean, this was one of those games where it didn't work in our favor. And I'll be completely honest, the referees, shout out to you guys, because you were on our side in that one. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. They were. Those are some. I know this particular Rex crew likes to call things tight, but god damn, was there some soft ass calls in this game. You had every opportunity, and you just kept shooting yourself in the foot. Sometimes you just got that no good game. Shit, what? I know you have about your Atlanta Falcons. That didn't make any goddamn sense. So, like, it didn't make any sense, right?
Hey,
so,
just give any of my side piece teams the Buffalo Bills, and we're good to go. That's what I know.
Yeah, so I don't like both your side piece teams and my Super Bowl team. You son of a bitch.
Just know how to call them, huh?
And I still had better record for your side piece teams than you did. So,
well, okay. Well, which was ridiculous, and we still need to address that at some point. But go ahead.
Look, man, So on us, like, this is one of those losses that they get to sit with, and like, if it's one of the ones that you compound and make worse, like to me, it's like, what do you do? Like, Bill last week had the fumble at the end of the game, and it came back with a vengeance right there at the end. This one, he has the fumble, and he looks a little sad on the sideline for a little too long, but they still try to give it back to him. They're like, you know what? We're going to get McNichols in the game a bit more. McNichols starts looking a little decent at certain points in this game. This just didn't feel like it was a cohesive thing. And I really do think Chicago just changed it up just enough that they'd be like, oh, shit. Oh, so y'all going to be committed to the run?
Totally.
Y'all
Totally.
going to be committed against the run? Oh, all right. I didn't expect that.
We do see 20 of you watching right now. If you have not subscribed, and I see some of you have not, please do. It's just quick button press. We really appreciate it as we continue to grow the channel. Means a lot. I know it's a loss. I know it's frustrating, but we do appreciate your support. Thank you for joining us just now. K-Dot, any final thoughts here before we do have a comment mailbag to quickly go through? But any final thoughts on this game? Because I think the emotional reaction is the correct one right now. We have the All-22 coming up that's going to be combined with our preview against the Dallas Cowboys. That will come out Friday, 2 p.m., as it always does. Any final thoughts here?
Don't turn the ball over. Figure out who the fuck you are running the football. And Mikey Sanders still and the secondary need to figure out what they need to do in the slot and on third down.
Okay. And with that, we go to the comment mailbag featuring an intro from our very own Nikki.
Comment mailbag time, motherfuckers. District divided, ain't got time for no suckers. Spread the word, get in line. OGs and new G's, it's your time. And spread the gospel, cause this shit is divine. Yeah.
All right. Thank you as always for that intro, Nikki, beginning with Martin Collins. Shout out Martin Collins. Love y'all. Let's take back the NFC East. Well, we're going to have to wait a little bit because once again, we lost that game. Get out your reaction.
Yeah, man.
Coach. Here's Coach. Appreciate you guys not picking the wound. I'm officially out on my Philly-Baltimore Super Bowl pick. In terms of the division, it's a long season, and Philly has plenty of time to fix the bullshit. Someone needs to be fired today. In terms of Monday Night Football, I'm going Commanders 27-21 with Bill as player of the game. Best of luck on Sunday. Very clever, Coach. We didn't need luck on Sunday. We apparently needed luck on Monday. K-Dot, your reaction.
I didn't like how quietly confident I felt about this game, but I had a buddy of mine, or buddy of the show, Brennan, called me yesterday saying, oh, you guys are going to take care of business against Chicago. Like, you take care of this for the NFC North. And I was like, you know, these guys are angry, right? Like, they had a bot, like they really want to win this game. Like, I didn't buy the whole Chicago rivalry thing, but I think it's here now. There's just too many overlapping pieces. Yeah, man, I lost a lot of money tonight. Luke made it up for me. I will give him that, but I tell you, I'm betting on it every week.
Hey, got to give it to Luke real quick. That's 3 straight games with this touchdown. I know that Joe Buck was like 3 in his last 4. I was like, you can make it easier, Joe. It's 3 in his last 3. That's what it is. He's on a touchdown streak right now and returns those kick returns. He's doing his thing right now. Luke is balling.
Luke is balling, and Lane had some moments in this game, man. Like, it looks good. Like, there's some pieces that look good if they get. I think what can end up happening is that when they get some of these wide receivers back, like Terry and Noah, they'll have packages specifically for Luke and Jalen now that they're kind of showing what it is they can do. And I think there are going to be some opportunities for them to isolate and like get some real good plays in there. We need the full complement. Right now, these injuries are what's absolutely dogging us right now offensively. Like, we didn't feel great about the wide receiving core going into this goddamn season, depending on what was happening with Terry McLaurin. We sure as hell don't feel good about it when your top 2 guys are hurt. Shit, top 3 guys are hurt.
We go to Vindo. Shout out Vindo OG. Run the ball. They can't stop it. They have a historically bad run defense, which is a disgrace in 2025. And this is something that Kadar and I, of course, had touched on in that preview episode, along with our prediction. And the NFL is sort of funny that way, right? Like you will see that you are the best running team in terms of yards per carry, and you'll see you're going against the worst in terms of yards per carry. And you go, well, logically speaking, that will just continue. And the NFL sort of has a way of humbling everybody in that sense. And you gotta, hey, hats off to the Chicago Bears from that perspective. They held Bill to 3.6 yards per carry. They held Jaden to 5.2 yards per carry, and he ended up busting a couple runs. So like if you take those away, it was around 2, maybe 3 yards per carry for Jaden. K. Your reaction to that comment?
The second note that I had in our preview, they like to survive the run without committing numbers. That's what they've done all season. It's why they have the turnovers they have. Now, in this particular game, you know what they did? They overcommitted to the run. And they got turnovers. Like, yeah. That's how that happens.
Gerald Green, or I'm sorry, not Gerald Green. Shout out Gerald Green, NBA player. Gerard Green goes, Greenfield, man, sorry, all over. Gerard Greenfield goes, JD5 cannot be trusted to throw a ball. Might be a Chicago fan, I would assume. I would doubt a Commanders fan says that, but threw a pick. But also, I mean, look, Jaden had the turnovers. Yeah, he also had 3 touchdowns, 19 to 26, 211 yards. Like, he had a good game, but when it mattered, that fumble was just obviously killer. Can't be trusted to throw balls a bit far. Go ahead, K-Dot.
Yeah, that's stupid. But the Chris Moore pass alone, if you got any doubt about that, just watch the damn ball. But yeah, the pick was stupid. The pick was just dumb. You get your body into the
bad read
right there.
There's safety help too. Like even if he gets past Brisker, like it's just
he's got a shot at it. He's got a shot at that. And if he takes it earlier on in the window, he's got Zach Ertz. He's not getting a touchdown, but he's got Zach Ertz for a little bit. Zach's not going to get anything with the ball. He's going to fall right there. There's like literally no space for anything. But if he leads him, if he drops that ball in there, he can get Debo. Or at least he can get the ball out the back of the damn end zone and nobody's going to fucking pick it off. Bad. It's just bad. That's bad by Jaden. Look, man, at the end of the day, you turn the ball over 2 times in the quarterback position, you don't win the game, I'm looking at you.
Go over to MF Quotes. Shout out MF Quotes. On offense, I need a Bill 150 all-purpose game again. When the ball is in his hands, good things happen. Motion Debo. O-line, their D-line has 5 sacks. Do your job. 5, be you. Simple. On defense, we need to read our keys like we are studying for midterms. Stay in your rush lanes. Secondary, tackle. Witt, I'm talking to you. I need McGee and Owens on the field. We need to match size and speed with these tight ends. Also, just stick to the basics and don't have our edge rusher drop into coverage on 3rd down. Please, God. No score prediction, though. Just my thought process. As we know, this is, and now I'm, back to my own commentary on it. Shout out MF Quotes for that. When he doesn't drop a score prediction, we win, except for this time. So feel free to drop those once again, MF Quotes. K-Dot, your reaction to the comment.
Yeah, I really got to look at this tape because I didn't understand a lot of what was happening with the rank, but they did do a couple things I saw in the game that I've been begging for, which was like the play action out of jumbo. It was actually called out on the broadcast, I think, when they had Trent Scott out there as tight end. There are some things that Cliff's introduced to the offense that makes me feel very, very happy about it. And I like the way that they have I love the tight ends. Like you see the amount of times that Yankoff is on the field. You got Bates on the field. The guys that they feel good about those guys and they're getting them more involved. I really do think offensively, outside of the mistakes, it's the rushing attack and what the game plan was for that. And I don't know if they just believe that if they have Jaden and Jaden's healthy enough that the only way they can do the run attack is out of the RPO. And if I don't know if I'm looking at it incorrectly going back to last year, anybody can correct me, but I always felt as though he's not always making the right read on that.
Yeah, no, I mean, early on, it didn't look like it, but I think Chicago just had it covered with the overcommitted numbers. They were able to cover both early on. Here's Jamal Bibichar Bonwe. Before the season, I picked Chicago to win this game, but on second thought, we do have a good chance to win this game if we score touchdowns instead of field goals. We can definitely move the ball on them, but cannot afford to settle for 3 because they are capable of scoring a bunch. If I was a betting man, I would pick the over at 50, and naturally it was 49 points. Your reaction?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And
Well,
look, DeAndre Swift, he kicked you in the nuts defense at the end of this game. Just not getting around that one.
Yeah, made him look like a first-team All-Pro. Rennell Winchester goes, good review. Thank you. 2 thumbs up on that. We appreciate that. Thank you for listening, and hope you're listening just now. Otherwise, we'll see you for the next preview episode. Blood Clot goes, I agree, K-Dot. I really do think play action is the key in this game. On offense, Bears defense knows run defense is their weakness. They know we will exploit the shit out of that, so they will fortify it and try to pressure JD with blitzes. I think first few plays of the game, make them pay with a shot downfield. Put that aerial fear in their hearts and make them back the fuck up. Then run, play action, and screens. On defense, we have to stick to zone. I know our secondary isn't strong there, but that's the key. Caleb does not like zone defenses because he has trouble reading them, which is why he holds onto the ball so long. Ben Johnson has fixed some of that, but the key to our defense is communication in the secondary. Like Joe Witt said, we need to stop wearing capes and just stick to our assignments. Be prepared for crossing routes because they are going to try to get our DBs running into each other in traffic. And Amit, I agree that we need to watch our penalties this game. I feel like we got away with some holding calls on big plays last game. They're going to be looking out for that this game. K-Dot, your reaction?
Wonderful way to sum up like a lot of what happened.
What happened? Like yeah, crazy. Well done. Yeah. Well done, Blood Clot.
Blitz like crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think every offense that we go up against, they're doing the crossing routes and they're doing a lot of motion to get our guys tripped up. Multiple times I saw even in the broadcast, and I wasn't entirely sure if our DBs was I can just tell you outright, our DBs were not calling out their assignments or giving off the responsibilities to the other, changing off the responsibilities to the other guy. I'm looking at Mike Sanders still more than anybody else as far as that goes in the slot, and especially anytime he's got to press. The moment anybody gets level with him, it's over. It's just done.
Curious about the all 22 on Mikey, man. It seems like he's had a down year. I know he got the pick, but oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you right now, I'm not doing a goddamn deep dive on Mikey. He's not played well. Like you don't need, like, you can watch the all 22 just outright and be like, Marshawn Lattimore's gotten better. Trey is clearly the best guy in the secondary, and Mikey has been the absolute most inconsistent, and at times looks from an angle standpoint that he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. That doesn't mean he's bad. It just means that, like, he's just got to get back to fundamentals. I don't know if being on the outside last year is just screw with his brain. I don't know if it honestly would suit him to be better outside. But as of right now, the way that Marshawn Lattimore is playing, the way that Trey Elms is playing, I ain't trading either one of them for Mikey.
Trey had a couple of nice moments in this game too. They isolated him. They tried him, and I was like, if you listen to the all 22 featuring K-Dot, you would know that's our best corner. So I don't know why you're doing that, Chicago. But anyway, Jim Sleazy. Shit. Their pass defense ain't shit either. They only shut down Geno. And Dak is a great QB that has more games than most great QBs. Chicago had played Dallas, of course. And actually, they did a decent job on Dak as well. They forced any number of turnovers so far this season. I believe the count was 7, and then it became 8 once Jaden threw his pick. K-Dot, your reaction to that?
Yeah, I felt like it was just night and day. Like, when they brought the blitz, it hurried things up. I think the reason Jaden's stat line looks the way it does, there was a lot of stuff that he was just checking down into. They did want to throw the ball down the field. There was a lot of play action in this particular game. I just don't necessarily love the sets they were coming in with it, or they set it up properly all the time. And yeah, there were moments on the right side of the line that got beat a few times. Montez Sweat had himself a nice little game. Yeah, man. I still think it's I offensively, if there's anything I'm pointing to, I think it's got to be the injuries, man. It's got to be the injuries. I just don't think, and I still think that if I'm going to look at the all 22, Jaden's going to not want to pull the trigger for some of these passes to Jalen Lane or to Luke McCaffrey unless he feels safely that he can do it. I don't know what the hell got in his system about Chris Moore today. That he was just like, I trust you, brother. And for the most part, he did a decent job.
MF quotes, dog, the AI video of K-Dot taking off like a rocket. I am weak, Ash. I mean, share the shit. Share the shit. Again, maybe not this one, but generally speaking, share the shit. K-Dot, your reaction to that.
I had nothing to do with that. I don't know what the hell is going on. I do know that the AI usage is killing our environment. The water usage and everything is terrible. Like I said, I am no longer in charge of anything that happens creatively on this network. I am here to see what I can do and to try to be a beacon of hope and good messaging in a world that lacks it.
Well, and that's going to be effective today because here's the other comment from MF quotes. They got you in 4K at a freak off, Amit. I'm going to unsubscribe, man. Crying emoji. And
they're trying to normalize it
there, but that was K-Dot. That was entirely K-Dot.
Trying to normalize it.
Nope, not at all. Okay. Tony, to conclude the comment mailbag. K-Dot, you got to get that IBS checked. Explosive diarrhea isn't good for your health, dog. Get out your reaction.
It's not. And trust me, neither were. I mean, that's what happens when you constantly eat cheese steaks for fucking football games when you can't. No more from me.
No mas. And that is going to conclude the mailbag. And this was the show. This was a District Divided DC Sports podcast, more specifically a Washington Commanders podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. And if you are, please like the video, subscribe. There's 16 of you. Appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Comment as you always do. And K-Dot.
You share this one. Share this shit.
Frustrating, man.
Don't share this shit. And what are we doing? We're not doing the all 22 separate episode this week, right?
No, it is
scheduling program.
It is going to be Friday 2 p.m. We do the all 22, and we are going to do the Dallas preview episode like we did last season. Basically, it's one of those. It's a throwback episode to that. The side piece report. All you need to know is my teams were awesome. And
super episode.
Yeah, and that, K-Dot's also actually, buy and win. Did well. So we will see you guys Friday 2 p.m. Thank you guys for listening. Sorry, it sucks. This is a frustrating game, but hey, all you can do, chin up, move on, and let's hope the team does exactly that because it's Dallas week and plenty of reason to feel good if we win that game over there in Arlington. So until then, take it easy and let's hope for a victory this coming Sunday.
Bye, everybody.
In DC, we're just hoping that you listen.